So you gotta just ask me a question. Something that's on your camera works better when it, go ahead. You got it.
So, when dealing with goal setting, how do you collaborate your time management with your setting of goals?
Yeah, I like your word choice. Go ahead, I'm listening.
And how do you prioritize these goals in collaboration with your time management?
So how do you manage your time in ways that allow you to set out and achieve the task? And then the second part is,
how do you prioritize those tasks?
How do you prioritize? Well, good questions. First, time management principle is just eliminate distraction. Okay, so when you have a goal, generally you have an idea of the steps that you need to do to get there. So if your goal is to build a blog, let's say, I like to use blogging examples because that's what I do. First things is you got to choose a theme, you got to choose a name, you got to think about the different type of things you want to write about, etc., etc. You have an idea of some of the different things that you want to do. But what happens is we try to multitask doing them as opposed to concentrate in depth with those different things. So it becomes difficult to get results in a particular thing because our attention gets scattered with all the different aspects of it. Does that make sense? Like, let's say if we're writing an actual blog post, it'll be easy for us to say, okay, well, I got to find a picture to go here. I got to make sure this links to that. I got to make sure I ask this person this to find out about that. And then all the different composite tasks that make up the actual goal get mired into one like mass action, as opposed to focus and concentration on each thing with complete disregard to the other things as you're doing that thing. You get what I'm saying? So the main way to manage your time and the main way to be more productive with your time is to focus on one thing at a time. And when it comes to prioritizing, one thing you could do is attach a dollar value to the different tasks. And if you attach a dollar value to each particular task, you get an idea of what's really worth, the investment. Not necessarily what it's worth in this moment. Like, if you think of it more like a dollar value in terms of an investment. You get what I'm saying? And if you could write down all your tasks and then think about the different value attached to each one, then you can see which one you need to focus your time on the most.
All right. All right. And when planning, how do you feel about like contingency plans? Like, do you feel as though having a plan B is pretty much already establishing, premeditated that your
You're
plan A?
Somehow. Yeah. That's another good question. I say the first thing you need to do is establish a purpose that's independent from the actual goal. So, for instance, you might have a goal of building a relationship with somebody, but really your purpose is to have kind of like fulfillment and the joy of connecting with a person, not necessarily that particular person. So what happens is we set goals, and what we really want is a purpose behind the goal, not necessarily the goal itself. And if you can identify what your purpose is, then you can create multiple methods or multiple plans to reach that purpose. And so the contingency is secondary to the vision or to the ideal or to the meaning, which is primary. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So just purpose and then methods, means and then ends. And think about it in that context.
Okay. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.